Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Oscar, and in today's tutorial we're going to learn how to crochet this crochet simple halter top. I had made one like this before in a Rastafarian version, and it's a beginner friendly tutorial. So in this tutorial I'm going to guide you on how to make any size that you want. So we already have a matching skirt tutorial for this, so if you haven't watched it, please go ahead and do so. So this is how our top will look like. You're going to tie this at the back of your neck, and this is how the back side looks like. We have this brown lining on the edges, and it gives it a beautiful finish. So let's go ahead and start. The materials you're going to need will be a pair of scissors, darning needle, your tape measure to take your bust measurements, a 3.5mm crochet hook, and your yarn. So you're going to use these two colors, baby blue and a brown color. And the brand of the yarn that I'm using is Robin. It's a Kenyan brand and it's 100% acrylic. So it's a fingering weight yarn also. It's a lightweight yarn. So we're going to double our strand. So let's go ahead and start. So you're going to start with a brown color, and you're going to start with a knot. So go ahead and make your knot. That way. So if you're making a small size, you're going to make 100 chains. For a medium size, make 110 chains. For a large size, make 120, and for extra large, you're going to make 140 chains. So I'm going to make a medium size. So I'm going to make my 110 chains. I'm done with my 110 chains. Now let's go ahead and start on the first row. I'm going to add 2 chains that will act as the turning chain. So add 2 chains, yarn over, and into the third chain from the hook you're going to do your double crochets. So you're going to insert your hook, pull up a loop. Now you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So that is a double crochet. Now you're going to place 1 double crochet in each stitch until you get to the end of the row. I'm almost at the end of the first row. So when you get to the end, you're going to chain 1 and cut your yarn. And this is what we have right now. So we can take the measurements and see. So without stretching my work, it measures 23 inches, but it can stretch up to 26 or 27 inches. Okay, now let's go to the second row. So if you're using one color, you're also going to cut your yarn. Now let's go to the second row. Before you go to the second row, you're going to identify 2 points in between here where we are going to start. These 2 ends will act as the straps. Now before we start on our second row, we are going to take some measurements. So you're going to consider the size that you are making, and I'm working with a medium size. So for a medium size, I'm going to need 5 inches in between here. Okay, so before you measure in between your work, you're going to measure it at the end and count the amount of stitches that are there. So for a medium size, you need 5 inches. So I already marked mine. We can measure this together and see. So this should give me 5 inches. You see? It gives me 5 inches exactly. So we are going to work with that. So now you're going to count how many stitches you have there, and you're going to do a little math. So I have 24 stitches on this 5-inch mark. Okay, and remember, this should not be there, it should be at the middle of your work. So remember, I started with 110 chains, so that means I have 110 stitches all the way. Okay, so I'm going to say 110 minus the 24 stitches, I get 86. So you're going to divide the 86 by 2 because you'll need them on this side and also on this side. So I get 43 stitches. So I'm going to count 43 stitches from this side and from this side and mark the 43rd stitch on both sides. Okay, so let me go ahead and count, and you're going to do your own math considering the size that you're making, and you're going to meet after you've marked the 2 points. Okay, now have marked the 2 points, so this is at the middle of your work. Okay, now we can start the next row. Now I'm going to use the blue color for the body, so let's go ahead and attach. So you're going to attach the first stitch available there, which is this one. Attach your yarn, and you're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and into that first stitch you're going to place 2 double crochets. So yarn over and insert your hook into the same stitch with 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, that way. Now you're going to place 1 double crochet in each stitch up to the last stitch before your stitch marker. I'm almost getting to the end of the row. Now I'm on my last stitch before the stitch marker, so you're going to place 3 double crochets on that last stitch. So yarn over and place your 3 double crochets on the last stitch, 2 and 3, that way. So you started with 2 double crochets and ended with 3 double crochets. Okay, now let's go to the next row. Now you can remove the stitch markers, you don't need them, but I'm just going to continue. So you're going to start the next row by chaining 3. So 1, 2, 3, turn your work, and into the first stitch you're going to place 2 double crochets. So yarn over and into the first stitch place 2 double crochets. So 1 and 2, that way. And in each stitch in between you're going to place 1 double crochet, except the last stitch. So the last stitch you're going to place 3 double crochets. I'm at the end of my 3rd row, so on the last stitch you're going to do 3 double crochets. So 1, 2 and 3, and this is how your work looks like. So let's go to the 4th row together for the last time, then you're going to continue by yourself. So you're going to begin by chaining 3, 1, 2, 3, turn your work, and into the first stitch you're going to do 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, and in the remaining stitches you're going to do 1 double crochet in each stitch except the last stitch. So on the last stitch you're going to do 3 double crochets. I'm at the end of the row, so on the last stitch you're going to do 3 double crochets. So you realize that every first stitch gets 2 stitches and every last stitch gets 3 stitches. Okay, now you're going to repeat what you did on this row, placing 2 double crochets in every first stitch and 3 double crochets in every last stitch. Okay, so you're going to keep doing that until you achieve a good coverage on your bust, and I'm going to meet you when I reach that point. Then you're going to take the measurements and see. So you're going to continue with your increases until you achieve half of your bust measurements plus 2 inches. So I was working with the bust measurements of 36 inches. So 36 divided by 2 I get 18. So 18 plus 2 I get 20 inches. So I've worked until I got 20 inches. So let's measure and see. And don't stretch your work while taking the measurements. You see I have 20 inches. So if you're working with, let's say, bust measurements of 40 inches, you're going to work until you have 22 inches. Okay, you're going to say 40 divided by 2 plus 2. Okay, then you're going to stop at that point with the increases. So from this point onwards you're just going to work with no increases on the sides. Okay, so let's go to the next row, and you're going to continue with this until you have the height that you want. So I'm working with a Right now I have 10 inches in height, so I'm going to work until I have 12 inches in length. Okay, so for the remaining rows we're just going to work with double crochets in each stitch, 1 double crochet in each stitch, no more increases on the sides. So let's go to the next row. So you're just going to chain 3 as usual, turn your work, and no more increases. So yarn over in each stitch, place 1 double crochet. When you get to the end, don't do the increases on the end, just one double crochet in each stitch, and you go to the next row. Repeat what you are doing right now, no more increases until you have the length that you want. So it doesn't matter how long you want to work, just stick to this. Okay, don't do any more increases on these sides. So I'm going to continue with mine until I have 12 inches in length. Then you're going to go to the next row where we're going to line our work with the brown color. Okay, so continue, and I'm going to meet you after you are done. I'm done working on the amount of rows that I needed. So you can see that this last few rows I didn't do any increases on the sides, and this is how it looks like. So this measures almost 12 inches. It measures 11 and almost 12 inches. So when you work the last row, you're going to get to the 12 inch that I was looking for. Okay, now you can go ahead and chain 1 and cut, and we are done with the blue color. So now let's go ahead and introduce the brown, and you're going to line our work all round. So I'm going to begin from this point. So I'm going to attach my yarn into the point where we had the stitch marker. So into the first stitch here, insert your hook, and you're going to attach your yarn, chain 1. Now you're going to yarn over and into the second row of the blue color. Note this, the second row of the blue color. Insert your hook into the double crochet space there and place 6 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, that way. Now you're going to skip the next row and go to the next one with a slip stitch and chain 1, that way. Now skip the next row and go to the next one with 6 double crochets. So skip this and go to the next with 6 double crochets, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now you're going to skip the next, and into the next one you're going to do a slip stitch and a chain 1. And now just repeat the same pattern, skip the next, and into the next one you're going to do 6 double crochets. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now skip the next, and into the next you're going to do the slip stitch, and this is how it looks like. Okay, now you're going to continue that way until you have 5 or 3 rows or 7 rows, just an odd number of the rows. Okay, so I'm going to continue until I have 5 rows here, because we are going to make the loops for our straps. Okay, so continue, and I'm going to meet you at that point. And don't tighten your stitches so much here, you want it to be stretchy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm on the 5th row right now, and this is what we have. Okay, now let's go ahead and make a the loops for our straps. Now you're going to chain 1, and into that row you're going to do 1 single crochet and chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. Go to the next row, the 4th row, with 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2, chain 3. Skip the next row, go to the 2nd row with 2 single crochets, chain 3, and insert your hook into the first stitch here or the last stitch here with a single crochet. And now we've made our loops for the straps, so we have 1, 2, and 3. Now you're going to chain 1, and into that same stitch you're going to put 1 more single crochet, and you're going to turn your work. Now you're going to work on this part, the lower part. So yarn over, skip 2 stitches, 1, 2. On the third one you're going to do 6 double crochets. So 1, 2, on the third one do 6 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That way. Skip 2 stitches, 1, 2. On the third one you're going to do a slip stitch. Now you're going to yarn over and skip 2 stitches. On the third one you're going to do 6 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Skip 2 stitches. On the third one do a slip stitch, yarn over, skip 2. On the third one do 6 double crochets. 3, 4, 5, and 6. That way. Now you're going to continue the same pattern. Skip 2, make a slip stitch, skip 2, place your 6 double crochets. So you're going to continue that way up to this end, then I'm going to meet you at that point. Now I'm at the end of this lower part, and this is how it looks like. Now let's work on this side, and it's just a reflection of this side. Okay, so I'm going to insert my hook into the last stitch here, make a slip stitch, chain 1, and make 1 single crochet there, and turn my work. Okay, now you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Skip the first row here, go to the next one with 2 single crochets. Now it's just a repetition of the other side. Chain 3, skip the next row, go to the next one with 2 single crochets, chain 3. Now since you are repeating exactly what you did on this other side, you're going to insert your hook into the 5th row. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see we have a stitch there. So also on this other side you're going to insert your hook into the 5th row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th row is the next one. So you're going to do a single crochet. Now you're going to yarn over and skip the next row, go to the next one with 6 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That way. Now you're going to continue, skip the next row, go to the next one with a slip stitch and chain 1, and skip the next, go to the next one with 6 double crochets. 3, 4, 5, and 6. That way. Skip the next, go to the next one with a slip stitch and a chain 1, skip the next, go to the next with 6 double crochets, and just keep repeating the same pattern, and I'm going to meet you at the end. I've made my last shell, so I'm going to remove this stitch marker and place a slip stitch there, the one which had your stitch marker, chain 1 and cut. So this is how it looks like right now. It looks really cute. So this will be the back of your work. Now go ahead and make a string of chains that you're going to use for the straps. Now I'm going to triple my yarn for the straps, because if I use 2 of them, it's going to be too thin. So just go ahead and triple them, and if you're using a medium weight, you can go ahead and double it. Okay, so go ahead and make the chains that you feel is enough for this part, for the back of your work, and then you're going to attach it. I made 200 chains in total. Now let's go ahead and attach it. And this is how the back of your work will look like. This is the front. So we are done, guys. So thank you so much for watching. We have a link to that skirt tutorial at the description box below, so go ahead and check it out. And if you are new here, please subscribe and click the notification bell so that you get notified when I post a new video. So that is it, guys. See you.